Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm live. Hey, how are you? I want you to like this page and share it. I want to share something with you. February the 17th, guess what? I'll be 80. That's my birthday. Right now, I'm 80-ish. Oh, my goodness. And you know what I'm looking for? I'm not going to be long. But leading up to it, I said, I was telling my grandchildren, and one asked me, what advice would you give me right now about my life? And I thought for a moment and I said, live your life the way you want to lead your life. When I speak for corporations, many times I ask people, if you had your life to live over again, and you knew that, let's say, you had 3 months to live. No, excuse me. If you had your life to live over again, how many of you know that you could have done more than what you've done thus far? And the majority of them raise their hands. I said, but I want to ask you another question. If you had a notice served and said that you have 3 months to live, what would you do differently? And the majority of the people in that room, and I've done it all across the country and around the world, you know what they said? I would quit my job. I would quit my job. I mean, over 90%. Let me share something with you. The reason I told my grandchildren to live your life the way that you want to lead your life, if they told me I had 3 months to live, I'll be doing webinars, I'll be doing Zooms, I'll be speaking and doing seminars and training speakers every day until I left here. And then I'll tell my kids, listen, don't let them embalm me for 3 days. Then sneak in the morgue and put a microphone in my hand. And if I don't grab it and say, you got to be hungry, you call your brothers and sisters and say, Daddy's gone. I was born to speak. This is what I do. Life is too short and unpredictable, living a life that's not you. I'm telling you what I know. People say, you look good for 80. This is not by accident. When you're born, you favor your parents. As you get older, you look like the life that you live. And let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to get some help because I really don't like this. You know, I don't believe in gray hair. Because I'm 80 don't mean I have to. Yeah, I got to doctor this thing up. Because I'm 80 don't mean I have to look 80. You know, I tell my twin brother, come on, Wesley, we were at the shopping mall and a guy looked at us and he got a little teary. And he said, how you doing? I said, fine. And he said, you remind me when my father was alive and we used to come to the shopping mall. You and your father looked so good together. My brother looked at him. I know Wesley was say, if you don't get out my face, I'll knock the hell out of you. This is not my son. This is my twin brother. Look at. No, homie, don't play gray hair. No. But here's what I'm saying. When you look at all the stuff that's going on now, trust me, listen to me on this one. If you don't hear anything else, make your mental health a priority. If the reason that you got people doing all kind of crazy stuff, lady comes home telling her boyfriend what happened and or a job she applied for, she got the job and he must have said something sideways and she took a gun out and shot him. Bam. Come on, who does that? People fighting in the grocery stores, people fighting over shot or over parking spots or road rage. People on edge. It's a different space, different time. And so, what I'm encouraging you to do is make your mental health a priority. Part of my celebrating my birthday, you know, the gift of giving myself, one, part of my gift, I said, by the time I turn 80, February the 17th, even though I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I will no longer be on insulin. I changed my eating habits. I exercise. I don't take insulin anymore. The doctor said, you don't need it. Listen to me. Being here is not a given. Make your mental health a priority, because if you're not in the right state of mind, it's going to affect your physical health. And I don't know, a lot of y'all got goals and dreams you want to achieve. Listen to me up in here. A person with their health have 1,000 dreams, but a person without their health, they have only one. I know what I'm talking about. I received the award from Cancer Centers of America, 39-year, 4th stage cancer conqueror. I know what I'm talking about. There are people dying today who never died before. How many people I know that did not make 80? Steve Jobs. Come on. I mean, when you think about people, Luther, with your Michael Jackson, Prince, I mean, wealthy people didn't make 80. This is, you know, they say the average life expectancy of an African-American male is 71. I said, I'm not buying into that. My mentor, Mike Williams, his mother, she made her transition. And I'm her bonus son. At 104, she was driving. She lived by herself. She still had a job that she was working with the church. At 104, I have an anti-nursing home strategy and an anti-won't be a burden to my children's strategy. I'm not looking for my children to take care of me. I'm going to take care of myself, so that I'll be able to do what Miss Williams did. I called her one day. I said, Miss Williams, how you doing? She said, Mr. Brown, I went to the bathroom by myself, not on myself. I said, what I'm talking about up in here. No, I have an anti-nursing home strategy. My kids are not going to say, you know what? I don't want to, I can't deal with him no more. He's talking too much to himself. Let's put him in a nursing home. That's from the nursing home to the cemetery. No. I told my mother, Mamie Brown, you will not go to a nursing home. I'll take care of you. But I'm not looking for them to take care of me. I'm being responsible. Take care of the older person in you. We can't help getting older, but we don't have to get old. And what most of us are doing, and the reason that many of us are aging before our time, when I was coming up, you know, the only two bald-headed people I knew, I'm telling you, listen to me. It was Telly Savalas, Kojak, and what's his other guy's name? He played in The King and I. What's his name? The King and I. What's that actor's name? Put it on the screen so I can see it. The King and I. Those are the only two bald heads. Now they got bald heads everywhere. Why? Stressed out. But I told one of my friends yesterday, I said, Bob Brown, he was a Toastmasters International winner. I said, grass don't grow on a busy street. Come on, somebody. Well, but listen to me. And let me share this. Let me just pause. Let me pump up my brakes for a moment. As I've been reflecting on my life. I wanted to live a life that mattered, like my mother did me, Mrs. Mamie Brown. Dorothy Bell Ruck out of Gainesville, Georgia. She gave me and my twin brother life. But Mrs. Mamie Brown, when Dorothy Bell Rucker went down to Miami with our father, Doc Oliver, and put us in foster care, Mrs. Mamie Brown came and said, I'll take him. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. I wanted to make her proud. I want to ask you, I'm looking for just 21 people. This stage of my life, I don't have the patience or the interest of working with people who are not serious, who are not hungry. You got to be hungry to make it today. Why you say that, Les? Are you kidding me? They're trying to turn back the hands of time on us. Are you kidding me? They're saying we can't teach Mrs. Rosa Parks and the role that she played, refusing to get up and stand up on a bus to give a white man her seat? Are you kidding me? Talking about taking our history out of the schools. In order for people to make it, they have to have a strong sense of self, a strong sense of identity. Once you have a sense of identity, that gives your life a sense of purpose. Once your life has a sense of purpose, that gives your life a sense of direction. Are you kidding me? You think that they don't know what they're doing? A system that has sponsored the worst form of slavery in the history of the planet? You think all of a sudden they had a change of heart? No, but it doesn't matter about them. What matters is us. We've got to understand the words of Dr. Carter G. Woodson. If you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. I've been doing this for 52 years. I see people out here, oh, I'm going to teach you how to speak. Listen, I got the receipts. I've been doing this. Some of you listening to me right now, I want you to comment. If at some point in time you heard my voice and you said, whoa, that made a difference for me. I can't tell you the number of text messages I got from Mumbai and from around the world, from the UK, from South Africa, from Nigeria, from London, England. I mean, places all over the country saying, hey, I was a kid, man. And in the car, my father, he played your motivational messages and it changed my life. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I got one guy, he called me today. I was in jail and all we could do is listen to you. And it changed my life, man. It changed my life. I want you to help me, man. My goal, Dr. Miles Monroe is my most famous student. He said something to me I will not forget, and this is where I am. He said, Les Brown, there's no success without successors. He's right. There's no success without successors. So I'm respecting that. When Dr. Miles was a bad boy, when he talked about purpose, let me tell you something, he could build a case. He was a bad brother up in here, dedicated, disciplined, and on a mission. The people that are listening to me, trust me, in order to do the things you want to do, you've got to be on a mission. Let me show you a picture of me and my brother. Come on, help me out here. Pull the picture up here. I want to show you something. As the young people say, I got the receipts. That's Mrs. Mamie Brown. And she took us out of foster care. Go to the next one. That's me and my brother. Now, I want you just to look at that picture right there. That's Wesley. He served our country. He's my hero. He did 24 years in the military. He's a paratrooper, jumped out of airplanes 176 times. He was wounded, Purple Heart. He served in Vietnam. He walked point. He's here because of God's grace and mercy. And the Persian Gulf. I told him, we talking the other day, and he interrupted me. I said, man, don't interrupt me. I get to be my brother's well-being counselor. And I said, listen to me. I said, I came here looking out for you, dude. You went out first, there was a slap, and you yelled, and I came out and said, hey, what's up? And they pulled me out. I said, shut up with your crazy self. It's something we have been together since we were 19 years of age. But I want you to look at that. Go to the next. Do you know what I had to do and who I had to be in order to be on that stage? That's Tony Robbins standing behind me. Gunther Renker Agency. They spent millions of dollars every day promoting an infomercial that he did, and it went around the world every day for years. When I sent them my VCR and they looked at my story, they said, you got an inspiring story, but you're black. And we don't believe America or the world is ready for a black motivational speaker. I'm telling you, listen, you know what it took for me to be there? They fired me up. I sent them. This is before texting. I wrote back and said, thank you for reminding me that I'm black. I never would have known that if you hadn't told me. And I made up my mind. I was so fired up. I said, I'm going to be so good. They cannot ignore me. I want those of you who have heard my voice. The only reason you heard it, because everybody can hear it, because what's in me is also in you. And my goal at this stage of my life is to do what Miles said: rob the cemetery of your greatness, of your story, of your leadership, of your ideas, of your business, of the things that you want to do in life, and step out of your fears and activate your faith and live the life that you were chosen to live. I know something about you and I don't know you. The fact that you're listening to me, you know in your heart of hearts that what I'm doing, you can do it too. The only reason you can hear my voice, because the voice that I'm speaking from, that's in you. I ain't playing with you. Most people die at age 25 and don't get buried until they're 65, living lives of mediocrity. I'm reminded of this lady, she had gotten a diagnosis. She had terminal cancer. And they told her to go home and get her affairs in order. And she kind of went home and she fixed herself a cup of coffee. And she thought for a while, reflected on her life, that all of her life she sacrificed her dreams and the things that she wanted to do for her marriage. Things that she wanted to do, and her husband said, no, I don't want you to do that. Things that she had felt that was in her heart, and she sacrificed her time on the planet for her children and said, when the children go, then I'm going to now do what I want to do. And then she got diagnosed with terminal breast cancer, had a double mastectomy, and they said, we didn't get it all. And while sipping coffee, all of a sudden, something surged in her. And she took that coffee cup and threw it up against the wall and screamed, I refuse to die an unlived life. I refuse to die an unlived life. She's still here today. There are most people that are dying unlived lives because of our pre-programming. When you live in a culture and you're marginalized and you're treated less than, you're demonized and denied, and systems are built to hold you back. Yeah. You're listening to me from your heart. And I'm saying there are others who can hear me in their ears, but it's not registering. But there's some of you it's registering. I want to see some comments. Can you see any comments of people say, I just know, I'm not making this up, because there's some people seeing me for the first time. I want to see if you at some point in time, I made an impact on your life, that you heard my voice and it made a difference. I want just text me right now. And let me read that. Can you read it on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, do that. Well, you look it up there.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, yeah, let me see some. Maybe about 4 or 5 of y'all, okay? Okay, but let me go here. I want you, those of you that are interested in learning how to tell your story, what is your why? What do you mean by that, Les? When you have a goal and dream that's beyond your comfort zone, if a man is to gain his life, he must lose his life. You got to have something that will sustain you. You see that woman there? I said, Mama, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, if you ever need me, I will take care of you. You won't be going in a nursing home. I'll take care of you, Mama. And I had to make a choice. I wanted to make a difference in other people's lives as Mama made a difference in our lives. She raised 7 children she didn't give birth to. When a woman carries a baby for 9 months, She automatically learned to love that baby. But I never forget when the lady told me, Karen Bell, she said, Les, you were not given away at birth. You were chosen with love. Mamie Brown chose y'all. She told Dorothy Bell Rucker, I'll take them. I won't separate them. I'll take them. They will never go to bed hungry. I'll take them. There will always be a roof over their head. I'll take them. They will always have clothes on their back. I'll take them. I feel blessed. And I go down to Gainesville, Georgia, and I see where my mother once spoke, because the first time I spoke outside of Florida, I spoke at Barbara King's Hillside Spiritual Center. Did not know Dorothy Bell Rucker, my mother, my birth mother, was on the front row. And my niece said I was with her. I was 12 years old. And she cried all during the time you spoke. My book was called Live Your Dreams. She said all the time you were speaking, she cried, and I didn't understand, but I misunderstood. She kept saying, that's my boy. That's my boy. And I thought she was agreeing with you. And I'm saying to myself, why she keep on saying that over and over? I get the point. That's my boy. And what she was saying, that's my boy. I brought him and his brother into this world. I did not know. And Dr. Barbara King did not know that my mother was a member of her church and we were very good friends. I did not know. She spoke to my niece and just kept saying, that's my boy. She got in the car. She didn't come up and say anything to me. She knew me, but I didn't know her. This thing called life. This thing called life. I want you to write this down. 208, be hungry. 208, B, just the B, the letter B, hungry, Hungry. If you have a story you want to tell, and I encourage you to do it. Dr. Cheryl Wood said, that story you're sitting on, somebody's waiting on. Reach out to me. And just make up your mind that you are not going to give the cemetery that story. I'm excited. I'm still here. Wow. 80. Who does that? Who does that? I used to think people in their 40s were old. Now that I'm 80, I served at the Lord's Supper, but I got some good tips, okay? Oh my goodness, 80. Wow. I'm glad here. I'm still here to serve. I ain't through yet. So this is just for people who are ready to invest in themselves, that want to put in the time and the energy, and that are hungry. That number, I want you to call that number. And those of you that are hungry to make a difference, to hungry to manifest your greatness, hungry to turn the page and start a new chapter with your life, hungry to do what Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or it's boring, hungry to live a life that will outlive you, hungry to live full and to die empty, hungry to make an impact with your life. If that's you, and you're looking for somebody that can coach you to do that, I got the receipts. Can we play any? What are the comments that people are saying? Absolutely. Give me a synopsis. Yeah, one right here. What them say? Absolutely. I went back to college and graduated from my dream school after listening to you. I was told I could never go to that school because I wasn't smart enough and didn't have the money. Guess by why was greater. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Nietzsche said, if you know the why for living, you can endure almost anyhow. Viktor Frankl said, if you have a purpose that's bigger than the adversities, that you're facing, nothing can stop you. Nothing. Okay.
We got another one from John Ross.
What did John Ross say? I don't have my Walgreens glasses. What? I am 25 years old and only discovered you last year. And through that time, you have changed my life. I kept thinking I wouldn't been able to chase my dreams, but now I am. Thank you, Les Brown. Thank you. Thank you. And happy birthday. Thank you so much. Oh, that's what HBD stands for. Okay, break, but yeah, but make me current. Okay. All right. I know they call me an old dinosaur. Yeah. A young broom sweep clean, but an old broom nowhere to go. Don't come for me. I didn't call an Uber. Don't let this 80 fool you. I still got the fire. Give you one more. We're going to end this. Yes. And listen, go to my website, lesbrown.com. There's a program there that I'm going to do personally. It's an online course. You can do it at your own leisure, but I also come on at different times live, so you can have a personal reach out to me. And so go to lesbrown.com and register for Speaking for a Living, how you can make a difference, how to create an experience with an audience, how to develop your signature message. We know about Barack Obama because of the audacity of hope. We know about Jesse Jackson, I Am Somebody. We know about T.D. Jakes, Woman Thou Art Loose. We know about great congressman out of New York, out of New York. Keep the faith, baby. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Now, Les Brown, you got to be hungry. Listen to me. Listen, you got a message too, and I got the receipts. Can you play the video of people who I've worked with?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to show you some people that I've worked with. For some of y'all, say, who have you worked with? Who have you done this with?
Thing that I learned from my mentor, Mr. Brown, is that people, if you help them create a larger vision for themselves, then they can accomplish more, because everyone is here to produce more. And I've had the opportunity to travel and spend time with Mr. Brown, and I've seen when he asks the question, can you do more? Everyone always says yes.
I have to tell you all, my experience of people on the planet, but I have the blessed privilege of being one of his spiritual daughters for close to 2 decades, being able to work with the myth, the legend, the icon himself has been such a blessing. To learn from the behind the scenes moments, to train in a room with brilliant minds, all focused on making an impact through our voices and our stories. It's life-changing. If you get the opportunity to work with the legendary Les Brown, you better jump, run, scream, holler, get in the room, baby, because the world needs your voice and your story.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Cheryl Wood. We were blessed to have none other than the legend and the guru himself, Les Brown.
It was like watching a master weave stories into principles.
From the moment he walked in to the moment that he left, he served. He added so much value to my life, and I know the life of others.
Listen, I have 3 pages of notes.
It was truly like I was watching an artist paint a master painting.
And I would tell everyone, you just need to be in his presence.
Mr. Les Brown, I just have to say thank you. What you did in one session, totally getting to the root of my story, birthing another book and a keynote. And you got out of me the stories that would resonate with so many because they're talking about wisdom, the wisdom and the secrets of my grandmother, sweet Janie Mae. So I want to say thank you, Mr. Brown. You did all of that in one session. Just imagine if we had more time. Thank you again.
I met Les Brown over 10 years ago at a network marketing conference where he was hired to motivate us to stay on track with our entrepreneurial dreams and journey. Later on the afternoon, after he gave his speech, I was in the lobby on the phone making sales, feeling motivated as he successfully did. And as I was pacing through the lobby on the phone, in the corner of my eye, I see a gentleman standing there and staring at me. Now, I know you can't tell from this video, but I was born without arms and legs. So people stopping and staring at me is something I'm kind of used to and very, very aware of. As I continued pacing and talking on the phone, making deals and making money, I kept my eye in my peripheral on him and saw him starting to approach me. And as he approached me, he said, "I need to talk to you." And I looked at him and I was on the phone and kind of mouthed to him, "I'm on the phone." And he said, "I know, but I need to talk to you now." And so, did not know who Les Brown was before seeing him that day. I politely let the person on the phone go and I hung up the phone and said, "How can I help you?" And he said, "I've been watching you." And I replied, "I know." And as he proceeded to talk, he said that, "I hear power in your voice. I've been watching you and I've been hearing you speak. And there's such a power there that I think I could help you." And in that moment, as he was talking to me and helping and explaining to me what it was that he saw in me, it was the first time that someone of that magnitude, at that level, recognized something in me that I had a hint that there was, but maybe was too afraid to step into. During that conversation, as it progressed, he invited me down to LA for his conference and training 4 days later. And I didn't know how. I didn't know who would be able to support me. You can imagine having no arms and legs has a little bit more of a challenge when it comes to traveling. But when he invited me to his conference, I said yes. There was no other answer because, as Oprah says, when life will whisper to you, but if you don't pay attention, it will scream. And after I spoke with him, I went back to my team in the conference room and I sat down at the table and they're like, "What's happening?" And I said, "I think life just screamed at me." And I proceeded to tell them that Les Brown approached me. He heard power in my voice and he wanted to support and help me use that power, use my voice to influence and inspire and make a difference in the world. Well, of course, who wouldn't say yes to that? And In that moment, I made a decision. I made a decision to commit myself to using my voice for good. And Les Brown was the perfect person to mentor me in that. Why? Because he believed in me. Because he recognized the greatness within me before I could recognize it in myself. And when I did recognize it, it got scary. And Les Brown stood there beside me every step of the way to make sure that even through the fear, that I was willing to step into the greatness and to see what was possible if I did.
What I experienced today with Les Brown, he gave me confidence to tell my story. I can tell my story to anyone at any time, and I can walk in confidence because I know that I will be making an impact.
So I just want to speak about how Mr. Les Brown has impacted my life, what he does every day. I listen to his audios pretty much every day to get my day started. It's pretty much a part of my formula. He talks about how we should strive to distract, dispute, and inspire people. And what he did was he distracted me by saying that I had greatness within me. He told me that I'm greater than those things that I am right now, that I can be better. And that was the dispute. And then he inspired me.
Wow, Mr. Les Brown is super duper inspiring. He has really impacted me. He has showed me how to tell my story, to impact others, to monetize the story, and to really live my truth.
Today I had the pleasure and the honor to be under the guidance of Mr. Les Brown, and I have to tell you, it has put me in another level of elevation. It has brought me to a place that I could never bring myself. He has taught me how to use my pain and use it for my story, and I can't wait to show you guys what I've learned.
Today has been amazing. Les Brown is so articulate but relatable, and it's just been a pleasure to sit and listen under his tutelage. Hearing a lot of the phrases that he has said previously, and then him having an opportunity to explain and express himself and just be real has gotten my mind thinking about the 4 things that he talks about: clarity, focus, toxic relationships, and ignorance.
So I first heard about Les Brown in 2002. I was very young, but as soon as I saw his video, I said, I'm gonna meet him one day. He has been very impactful to my life. He has been one of the main mentors in my life. It was his personal development that gave me strength and resiliency from a very young age. But I'm here today, and I met Les Brown, and I gave him a hug. It's been worth every dime.
I want you to think about what I'm going to share with you right now. In this space where we are, we have to meet the moment. There are efforts and things that are being done to not just hold us down, to crush us. This is a time we must meet the moment for ourselves and for our children and for our children's children. This is no time for us to sit back and just be a witness. No. Or talk about, oh, ain't it awful? No. Or spending countless hours consuming entertainment. No. What you consume, you will become. This is time we have to put ourselves on a mental diet. There's so much negative stuff coming from politics, coming from the news. And when you take that stuff in, it stresses you out. Over 60% of people can't get a good night's sleep. I'm telling you, this is a time that you have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to listen to things that are positive things that can contribute to your growth, things that will help you to develop mental strength to handle what we're dealing with. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might, you will have tribulations. Let me tell you what I'm up to and why I'm committed to do what Dr. Miles Monroe said. There's no success without successors. And this is not for everybody. This is for those of you that can hear my voice, that resonates with you, that hear me in your heart, not in your ears. That we need mental resiliency to handle all the stuff that's coming. This is a different place. Einstein said the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. There are a lot of people with the capacity to win, but they're failing because it's a new landscape. It's new rules. New rules. And so we have to develop tools in a program that will help us to develop the mental strength to handle what's going on. Elsie Robinson said, things may happen around you and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happens in you. Over 300 million jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligence. So my goal and working with our team is to help you to develop mental resiliency. The suicide rate has increased among our young people. Alcoholism and drugs and bizarre behavior. Just listen to people with these various groups out here and athletes can't hold a conversation without a lot of foul language. I teach young people. I'm doing a training with young people and train those of you that are interested how to work with young people, that profanity is the strongest expression of a weak mind. Yes, I said it. You can tell a lot. Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, develop your mind. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. He said, practice OQP, and I'm encouraging you to do this because my goal is that we're going to build communities of greatness. They did a 78-year study with Harvard University, and they wanted to know the 1%ers who became successful, what did they have in common? You know what they said? They had a reference group, the relationships that they had. People that were going in the direction that they were going in, people that were thriving to develop their greatness, people who had visions and goals, people who held them to a higher standard, people who brought the best out of them. There's some people that make you feel good about yourself. And there's some people, if you never saw them again, it would be too soon. I know this to be true. And many of us have been just like me. There were years I was just trying to help people who wouldn't be willing to help themselves. You remember that song, that movie, Jerry Maguire, Help Me to Help You? Listen to me. If you don't listen to anything else, listen to what I'm about to say to you. It would increase your possibility of success by over 60%. In the book called The University of Success, Og Mandino, he said, most people never achieve their goals because they become sidetracked by other people's agenda. You know how many people that are distracted? We're victims of mass distractions, weapons of mass distractions. So write this down and put it someplace where you can see it. And this applies to family members, to your children, and your friends. Listen to me on this one here. And I'm telling you, it's going to change your life if you don't get anything else and don't hear anything else from me. Listen to this. Don't be the go-to person for people you can't go to. Come on, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota, Tamabota. Bring me a full screen. Don't be the go-to person for people you can't go to. There are some people that will bring you down before you can bring them up. I'm telling you what I know. There are some people that they're always there when they need you, but when you need them, oh, I would if I could. I'll try. People rub off on you. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. When I found that out, I got all the broke people out of my life. I used to be so broke, I'd walk past a bank and trip the alarm. Woo! Creditors would call the house and my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy say he ain't home. Don't tell him like that. Oh my God. And sometimes they would catch me. May I speak to Les Brown, please? I'm sorry, but he's not here. You sound like Les Brown. Don't you go there, big boy. Listen, there's no such thing as job security. Listen to me. The 40-40 plan is going. You go to college and get in a lot of debt and graduate and think you're going to get a job for 40 years. There's no such thing as job security. I'm telling you what I know. My grandson, Trey, went to school, wanted to become a CPA, got a corporate job, and within 3 months, they laid Trey off, and 1/3 of the staff replaced him with ChatGPT. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. This is a time we must, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would say, we got to do for self. This is an era of entrepreneurship, the era of accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. This is a time that you got to get away from people who don't have an agenda for their lives. They're part of somebody else's agenda. Get away from people who have a broke mentality or negative energy. Get away from them. Come out from among them. The road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it. You are part of the few. That's why you're listening to me. The masses are looking at sports or talking about who's the GOAT, Michael Jordan or is it LeBron? Can't even afford tickets to a game. I'm telling you what I know. Most people are following the herd. I remember my mother was working on Miami Beach with this wealthy family, and I remember Mr. Zadersky said to his son, you want to be successful, son? And he said, yes, sir. He said, watch wealthy people and do what they do. And he said, yes, sir. And he said, here's something else. He said, watch poor people and don't do what they do. You know what I saw Mr. Zadersky doing, who was worth millions? Every day in his library, when I had to go in there and clean it and vacuum and shine his shoes, he was listening to motivational messages. And I stayed in there a long time. And he would have to call me back. Hey, listen, let's look at my shoes. You need to do this over. And look over there. You need to clean that up. And what about the ashtrays there? And his wife said, don't talk to him like that. But I deserve that. You know why? I did not do my best because I wanted to be called back in there. And I wanted to listen to what he was listening to because he had what I wanted. And as I listen, we become what we think about. As I listen, all of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. As I listen, when the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. As I listen, it changed my mindset. It's why I speak. I'm looking for people who want to make a difference. You got all these people out here doing these events, and they're speaking to sell. I'm looking for people who want to speak to serve. To speak to serve. If you make an impact in people's lives, if you orchestrate and create an experience with your story so that people see themselves in your story and you take them to a place in themselves that they can't go by themselves, and they will become a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in their lives. I'm looking for people who want to make that kind of impact. And if that's you, go to LesBrown.com and sign up for my Speaking for Living program. Between now and 12 midnight, February the 17th, the people sign up, I'm going to do a lot of personal time with you. It's an online course you can learn at your own leisure. You say, well, I ain't got it. Well, get it. There's never a shortage of money, just a shortage of thinking and resourcefulness and commitment and a sense of worthiness. You have something special. You have greatness in you. But when you are in a culture where you're demonized, where you're dismissed, where you're denied, There's a reason that Dr. Carter G. Woodson said that if you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. If you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, you never have to order him to go to the back door. He'll go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. I'm looking for people who want to eliminate the virus of HIV, hood-infected virus, AIDS, addiction to incarceration, and death syndrome. Cultures are created by speakers. Cultures are created by words. The culture that we're in right now, the divisiveness, the anger, the hatred. Klan members are emboldened. White supremacists coming out the woodworks. They're emboldened. They've been told, it's okay now. Come out. Let's make, I don't even want to say the words. Listen, you and I, listen to me. Listen to me, Linda. Listen to me. We were born and preserved for such a time as this. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chesting rod, fell in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears have been watered. We've come treading a path through the blood of the slaughter. We are the descendants of the ones that would not die. We were born and preserved for such a time as this. Don't come for me. And if you do, mess around, you'll find out. Oh, behave. Oh, he's on fire, honey. He's so glad he's about to turn 80. He don't know what to do. I'm looking for the few. I ain't for everybody. I don't want no broke consciousness around me. I'm for people who are ready to invest time in educating themselves, elevating their mind, developing the mindset of what it takes to make it today, the skill set. I'm working with a young man. His name is Ethan King, on how to leverage artificial intelligence to make it an ally rather than an enemy, and developing communities. We're going to have Facebooks to set up of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationship. We must come together. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. This is the moment. The moment. Call forth those things that be not as though they were. Oh, I just feel there's some people who sing less. I'm the one. And if you think I don't know how to command an audience and teach you how to speak to one, I want you to go online and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. Pull up the image again, please. Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. And when you see it, you see me speaking to over 80,000 people. Put me in Wesley. And what I want you to think about as you look at that, born in an abandoned building in Liberty City in Miami. We were put in foster care. And Mrs. Mamie Brown got us out. Wesley and I eating sugar cane. He's my hero. I get to be here to take care of my twin brother. God bless me to be able to do that, for us to finish life together. No one could have predicted that looking at that picture there, that one of those boys, one would go into the military, be a hero in the military, 24 years, Wesley on the left, me on the right. No one would have predicted. Leslie at Douglas Elementary School on Overtown in Miami on 3rd Avenue, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and labeled educable, mentally retarded. Leslie at Booker T. Washington failed in the 8th grade. Leslie put in special education and graduated in special education at the bottom of his class. No one would have predicted that this Les Brown that you now see existed. Let me share something with you. There's an area in scripture where, bring me back up, where Jesus came into a city and a lady who was physically afflicted, she said, Lord, please have mercy on me. And the next line said, he saw her. I see you. He didn't see her affliction. I see you. I don't see you being marginalized. I see you. I don't see you being demonized and denied and destroyed. I see you. Not what the press says about you, not what politicians and religious leaders are saying about you. I see you. You're made in the likeness and image of God. I see you. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, where we will never exercise authority and dominion over our lives until we exercise authority and dominion over what we are not. We have been and still being programmed for a life of mediocrity, systems together to hold us down. But we're more than conquerors. Come on, somebody. Well, come on. Oh, yes. So those of you between now and 12 midnight, February the 17th, you go to lesbrown.com and sign up for Speaking for a Living. Teach you how to do the business, how to monetize it, how to incorporate artificial intelligence as a part of your game plan to win in this era of what Peter Drucker said. We must be willing to unlearn, learn, and relearn. The things that we have learned don't serve us now. We must be willing to unlearn, learn the new rules of the game, and continue to learn, to have a passion for learning. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I want you to play that one last one. I want you to see something. I love this. You know, I want to hear some comments from you. If at some point in time you heard my voice, you're probably just a kid, and it made a difference in your life. Ed Milet, very well-known motivational speaker. He said, man, I was in the car with my father. He said, I want you to listen to this guy. He said, and I can't believe I'm talking to you now. And he's a powerful speaker. You ready? Go ahead.
You were born and preserved for such a time as this. You were chosen for this moment, the emergence that in you. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm. There's something in you. And at this moment in history that must come out.
If what you just saw and what I've been saying, if it resonates with you, if, as the young people say, can you feel me? As my nephew say, you know what I'm saying? No, say what you're saying. If what I'm sharing with you, my goal is to treat this as a part of my legacy. Creating the next generation of people who will speak on peace, on harmony, on hope, on joy, and love. Cultures, the mindsets of people right now are being affected by the toxic, negative words and the chaos that's going on now in the media. I'm going to multiply voices of hope to drown out these voices of despair and hatred and divisiveness. This is a moment. We must meet the moment. All hands on deck. This is where we are. And we were born and preserved for such a time as this. Let me wind up on this. You are a masterpiece. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm. You are a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. Go to lesbrown.com and encourage other people to do it too. And I'm going to play this several times so you can see it. But we have to create a movement that's built around mindset, leveraging artificial intelligence, and creating communities of greatness, of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, and focusing on consuming knowledge, consuming information that can empower us rather than all the garbage and the filth that's out here now that does not serve us or our children or our children's children. My son, John Leslie, said, if you're a child of God, we need to act like it. Yeah. You have something special. You have greatness in you. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy and Dorothy Bell Rucker's pride and joy. I've got two mothers and I'm not ashamed. I got two mothers and I love them just the same. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Oh, behave.